this was our attempt at
Legion Parks and cable we had, and that's
but that thing was probably under like several thousand pounds of tension, which is more than that project was under. But it really only deflected probably about 3 inches. But I mean, I think it's a really important, like, having not worked with tension before, it's a really misunderstood thing. We were working with students who were trying to imagine tension, and they were proposing these projects that had very elaborate cabling schemes, and I just remember thinking, like, do you have any concept of what that feels like to hold that much tension? And this was really actually a very useful exercise. We had to lower the weight. That helped. This was we found it by complete stroke of luck. We found an absolutely marvelous membrane engineer in Stuttgart. They're always German. Yeah, hopefully never another American. But they're always German. This guy was amazing, Dieter Strobel.
And this is the dialogue that we had with him. Basically, back and forth dialogue.
Yeah.
With the guy.
Of form finding, and again, not in the fashionable new sense of form finding, but in the kind of traditional auto sense of form finding, and that these are shapes, membrane shapes that are responding to the effects of gravity and various tensions across the surface. That's the kind of dialogue we have when somebody's across the ocean. And then deciding on how we are going to divide the surface. Stress analysis across these surfaces. There's our big construction drawing. Again, this is actually, now we're taking it into our modeling software to what we're calling instantiating the surface. That's the pedal that we used. So you can see there, that's the same model, computer model, but 2 different expressions of it. Yeah. And there it is. It is actually a hemispherical project. So there's one hemisphere that instantiated. A little more conventional illustration of it. We had to use fabric cutting software. That's actually what's happening. You can see there on the right. The material all gridded out, all parts, and then nested at the bottom for cutting.
I mean, there was also kind of another interesting component to all that stuff, because one thing that we noticed from working with it, rolled material, the material comes stuff is that it tends to have a memory from having been rolled for shipping and for storage. So that kind of influenced the way that the parts were nested down below. They were no longer really nested for maximum efficiency only. I mean, so that was another parameter that we had to contend with, basically. Because if you notice in the piece, all of the petals basically curl in the same direction. So construction of food.
Yeah, I mean, we kept talking about this thing as like kind of like instant art. You know, like you cut it out, you put it together, and you put it up, and it doesn't require a lot of construction drawings. Essentially, just an understanding of an assembly sequence.
Plus, we're also our own contractors. We have a computer in front of us, so we get whatever information we need out of it.
Well, one of the things that's interesting about this project, and set the precedent, I think, is that because it's done through materials and applications, that place engenders a very strong community spirit, and so the idea of working with a lot of volunteers and collaborators, although not totally new, but it was new for us working together. It was really kind of great, and that's been something that we kind of try to do in a lot of our projects. Assembling the thing, there it was fairly easy order, but you start getting into problems of space, and this piece was considerably larger than the space in which it was changing. So, This is actually I haven't shown a picture. Well, we showed one picture. But this gives a kind of illustration of how it addresses the street. We wanted the project to have you can see on the right, this kind of like a canopy poking out over the street. So it would be slightly arresting. What is that? It's an unusual canopy. But then when you actually see it fully revealed, you just kind of wow that. You see the canopy or the thing that projects out of the street that's being constructed. This was us actually making the mistake, having never worked with this type of structure, or only worked with a prototype, making the mistake of dumping it off the roof.
Not fully assembled.
Yeah, not fully assembled, without cabling along the back edge, which in the entire back edge ripped out. And then
my dad showed up. My dad's a structural aerospace engineer. He showed up about 20 minutes after we had done it. And he goes, "What's wrong with you? The whole thing's a system. If you pull it, if you throw it over, not having it all attached, it doesn't work."
But he has a very thick Argentine accent. He's like, "Gaston, that was the stupidest thing you have ever done." You are throwing a broken thing over the edge.
There we are, like pondering what to do next.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, Dad.
So that's actually how you should put it, where you should start before you put a structure like this up. Assembled, fully assembled. It's a system. Duh.
And then this is like the second time putting it up. Now we need what to do.
Do you guys know this guy?
It's the tan guy.
Do you know him?
That's the tan guy, yeah.
The walking, the
Jenna took these pictures, and she helped me get it.
He's still alive, all right.
Guys, it's like the guy that can help. So there's the thing lit at twilight by this very good photograph, actually, I think, by Scott Mayer. We knew the kind of light qualities that we were interested in this project, but because it has very complex qualities, the material does, with respect to how it modulates light. We didn't really know what we were going to get. We wanted it to be kind of this.
We had a pretty good idea.
We did, but we didn't. I think it was more. It surprised me that it actually worked. Then you can see this kind of mandala pattern, kind of contemplative, relaxing space, but also kind of socially energizing, because it was right up the street.
Cool. I mean, we live near there also. We fly by every once in a while, pretty late at night. They leave it open 24/7, and every once in a while you'd see somebody there hanging out. And they chased out a couple of people actually doing it. All the working guys on the clothes and they're out.
Yeah.
And there's odd things there.
They were. It's again this kind of relationship to our detailing, which is just kind of figured out as we're working with the materials, purchasing them, developing these things with our hands, which is actually a really good detail on the left, which you can't see, which Gaston came up with, to attach to the edge.
Or from McMaster car.
Yeah, I mean, he has an encyclopedic knowledge of McMaster car. You can't